So a few days ago, Jake Paul announced that he's gonna be fighting Andre August on December 15, and people had some mixed reviews on his opponent. For example, some people replied to his tweet by saying, "Everybody right now." It's funny how we already know what this meme is just by looking at the picture. And also, bro, are you just picking people from the street at this point? Whereas some other people said, at least Jake Paul is challenging himself, I like it. Now if you're simply looking at this fight on paper, it definitely looks like a challenge since Jake's record is 7-1, whereas his opponent has a record of 10-1 with 5 wins coming by knockout. But if you do a bit more research, you can see most of his wins are against either people making their debut or people having a bad record, like being 6-25. And on top of that, Andre's only fought one time in the last 4 years, and that was around 3 months ago, and Jake Paul has fought 8 times in the same time period, which shows that Jake's definitely the more active boxer, whereas for Andre, he's probably not in the best boxing condition. But the final important point to bring up is the statistics. Jake Paul is ranked 125 ratings above Andre while also being 9 years younger than him, having a 2-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. So Jake Paul literally has all the advantages possible to beat his opponent statistics wise, but let's watch some of their previous fights to understand how their styles compare. Now if we look at Andre's fighting style, you can see that he likes to come in on the inside and throw a ton of body shots while also aiming for the head, which is actually really smart for someone like him since he does have a small reach and won't win by trading jabs with his opponent. And you can see it again here, Andre August just lunging forward to get in on the inside where he feels comfortable and then throwing 70% of his punches to the body, but also combining it with some shots upstairs. He also uses a really smart boxing tactic when his opponent's on the rope, which is driving his head over their shoulders, so this way not only can he lean on his opponent, making them feel your body weight to tire them out, but his opponent also can't hit his head in that position since he has no room behind him to load a punch in that area. Now if you look at how Jake reacts to his opponents when they kind of just lunge in on the inside, you can see in the Tommy fight that he sort of just freezes and starts to cover up while also moving backwards, giving them the front foot. Another point to bring up is how Jake responds when he's in the corner of the ring, as that may happen a lot in this fight since you can clearly see that Andre August likes to back his opponents into the corner and again drive his head over their shoulder and land some big shots. I tried to find a clip of Jake being in the corner from the Tommy Fury match, but from the entire fight, Tommy somehow never backed him up. But if you take a look at the Anderson Silva fight, you can see whenever Jake is on the back foot, he never really knows what to do and just covers up and hopes for the best. This isn't really a good sign if you're Jake Paul because Andre's entire boxing style is coming in on the inside, applying pressure and making you fight on the back foot. And we've seen multiple times that Jake Paul kind of struggles in these situations, as we can see here again. That's really the only weaknesses I could find for Jake, but once again, because Jake is taller and has had experience fighting on the back foot, he could just use his jab to keep Andre back. Now let's take a look at some weaknesses Andre August has and how Jake can excel from them. The main problem Andre has shown from the footage we have is this head movement. You can see here, whenever Andre is walking forward, he never really moves his head. It's just always in that center line. And these can be easy shots for his opponent just to pick off with his jab. I'm not sure why he's not doing it, but you can just see not really moving his head. Even when he's throwing punches, just not moving his head whatsoever. And because of this, Jake can 1. Land some easy jabs from the outside as I already said, and 2. Look for that counter hand when August would try to come in. Because Jake has a longer reach, August will have to take a shot to come on the inside, and as we've seen, when he does try and come inside, he lunges forward, leaving his head wide open for a counter punch, which will most likely be the right overhand by Jake since that's been his most effective punch so far. And not to mention, we've seen in the Tommy fight that Jake definitely has a strong jab as it knocked Tommy's head back like a yo-yo and also knocked him down. And because Andre August does have a 5-inch shorter reach, that means Jake can land his jab from a distance Andre August can't, which will cause even more problems. So the only way I see Andre winning this fight is if he can back Jake up in the corner and land some big shots, but because Jake does have the longer reach and has a lot of power behind those punches, I just don't see him fighting on the back foot. I think Jake will have total control the entire fight, using his stiff jab to keep Andre back, but also looking for those counter punches when he does try to come in. So I honestly see Jake winning by KO or TKO, and this is gonna be even easier to do because Andre doesn't move his head and keeps it in the center line. And finally, because Andre's been boxing for 10 years now, he's not randomly gonna improve a ton from his last fight, whereas Jake probably will since he has a lot to learn. But comment down below who you think is gonna win the fight and how they will win, and make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss future videos.